A single strawberry and a momentary lapse in focus turned a sunny afternoon into a frantic countdown, leaving Bakugo and Kirishima to realize that their greatest failure didn't happen on a battlefield. It happened in their own kitchen. And now that they're suddenly overwhelmingly hypervigilant when they start hovering over every snack you pick up and double checking your bag for your EpiPen 3 times before you leave the house. Does the care start to feel like a new kind of restriction or the safety net you've been waiting for? The smoothie had been Kirishima's idea. He'd blended it himself. Strawberries, banana, a scoop of protein powder, some kind of new superfood mix he'd brought from the health store near the gym. He'd presented it to you with that wide, earnest grin of his, chest puffed out like he'd done something extraordinary. Made it myself, he'd said, pushing the glass toward you across the kitchen counter. Good for recovery. Drink up. You took a sip and then stared at it. Something about the color of it, too red and too thick, made something small and cautious stir in your stomach. Does it have mango in it? No, just strawberry. Why? You'd almost let it go. I'm allergic to strawberries, Iji. He blinked. Bakugo, sitting at the table with his coffee, hadn't looked up from his phone. Are you sure? Kirishima had asked, scratching the back of his neck. I thought it was raspberries. No, it's strawberries. Huh. He looked at the glass, and then back at you. Well, it's a pretty mild reaction, right? Like just a rash or something. That had been the moment. That exact sentence. Just a rash or something. You should have stood up and walked away from the counter entirely. Instead, you'd let yourself be distracted. Bakugo had called your name from the table, something about a movie night, and you turned, and the conversation had dissolved into the ordinary noise of an afternoon, and somehow, stupidly, 20 minutes later, you drank half the glass without thinking. The reaction started in your throat, a tightening, subtle at first. You'd set the glass down on the coffee table, mid-laugh at something Kirishima had said, and noticed it. A pressure, like a hand closing slowly around your one pipe, and then the heat crawled up your neck, across your jaw, and you raised your hand to your face, and felt the swelling already beginning beneath your fingers. Hey, Bakugo was watching you from across the room, eyes narrowed. The hell's wrong with your face? Um, the smoothie, you said, and your voice came out wrong, too tight and too small. E.g., the smoothie had strawberries. You watched the color leave Kirishima's face. Oh god. He was off the couch in a second. I didn't think it was that strong. EpiPen. Bakugo was already moving, already crossing the room in 3 strides. His voice had gone, flat and sharp, the way it did when he was controlling himself very carefully. Where's your EpiPen? It's in the bag. Front pocket. He was gone before you finished the sentence. You could feel your throat constricting further now, your chest tightening like something was setting on your sternum. Kirishima had both hands on your shoulders, and his face was the kind of pale that looked wrong on him, wrong on someone whose whole energy was warmth and solidity. I'm sorry, he was saying, rapidly. I'm so sorry. I forgot it was this strong of a reaction. Ichi, your voice was barely above whisper. Not now. Bakugori appeared, with your bag, already unzipped, already tearing through the front pocket. He found the EpiPen and uncapped it in one motion, crouching in front of you. Outer thigh. He managed. I know that, he said, and there was something raw beneath the irritation. He pressed it against your thigh and held it. 10 seconds. Steady. His jaw tight, eyes fixed on your face the entire time, like he was daring your body to keep declining. Slowly, you could breathe again. The hospital was 40 minutes of silence. Kirishima sat beside you in the waiting room, with his elbows on his knees and his face in his hands. Bakugo sat on your other side, arms crossed, staring at the floor. Neither of them looked at each other. Neither of them looked at you. Look, I know that I was the one who drank it. I just thought it wouldn't be that strong of a reaction because I've always just eaten small portions. But I told you both about it before. Kirishima lifted his head, and Bakugo's jaw flexed. I know, Kirishima said quietly. I told you both when we first got together. I made a list. I sent it in the group chat. I said strawberries specifically. I know. His voice cracked on the second syllable. I got the allergy mixed up, and I should have just asked you about it before I made it, instead of assuming. You both do this. You half listen. I say something important, and it doesn't land because you're already thinking about something else, and then something like this happens. Don't lump me in with him. I didn't make the smoothie. Are you serious right now? Yes, I am. You're the one who. Both of you. I'm not doing this here. But Bakugo, when I told Iji that it was strawberries, you were sitting right there, and you didn't say anything either. I wasn't paying attention. He said finally. The words seemed to cost him something. I know. I'm sorry for real. Kirishima exhaled through his nose. Not that. I'm not just saying it because you're scared of me being upset. I genuinely didn't take it seriously. And that was wrong. You could have. It was really bad. And that was because of me. It was bad. You said simply. More silence. Bakugo uncrossed his arms and leaned forward, elbows on his knees, mirroring Kirishima's posture from before. We'll do better, he said. No qualifier, no excuse attached, just a sentence. You will, you said, because I'm not doing that again. And neither of them argued. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and goodbye.